Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I pulled out my 31 caliber 1858 pocket revolver. Now, I have tried to do as much research as I can on this revolver, and I have never found a documented case where this gun, either the 1858 version or the Colt version, because Colt had a version of this of their 31 caliber. I have not ever been able to find a single documented case where this 31 caliber actually caused a fatality. Okay? And what I'm going to do here today is I got a rusty drum in front of me, right? It's a steel drum, and I'm going to shoot this with this 31 caliber. And in order for this pistol to have any chance of lethality, it has to at least penetrate that drum. Okay, I've loaded it to the max chamber, which is 11 grains of black powder. Okay, that's the maximum amount of powder that this will fit. And basically, you know, I filled up the powder and I compressed it. For a wall, I'm using 31 caliber. Let me shoot this barrel over here. And I'm about 10 feet away. And basically, this gun ideally was intended for really close distance. So we're going to try it out. See if I can get penetration on that barrel. Okay. First round, let's look at it. No, it dented it pretty good, but no penetration. Now, just so you guys know, this is the Paeta version. The sights on this are too low, because basically it's so low that you end up pointing the gun up and just shooting way over anything you're trying to hit. So what I did is I took my welder and I built up the front sight, and then I filed it down to get it to a, to get the zero to where I wanted it. The other thing to be aware of with these balls, sometimes the balls will pop out. Like right there, I can see it popped out a little bit. Just pushing it with your thumb. The balls will sometimes pop out just a little bit to prevent the revolver from spinning, or the cylinder from spinning. Okay, so I fired 5 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one actually penetrated, and the reason is because it went like right next to a previous shot, so the steel was already weakened, and I actually got penetration on that last one, but the other 4 did not penetrate. So this thing is like right on the edge of penetration. Like, you know, it normally won't penetrate, but if you hit it near a spot where you've already shot it, it will penetrate. Just for comparison, I got my, I'm going to fire a 22 into that barrel. And I know for a fact that these 22s are just going to go right through it, but I'm going to try the 22, and then I'm going to try the 22 short. See how the 22 short goes. Oops. So, all right. So we're gonna fire 5 shots of 22 long rifle out of this North American Arms revolver into that barrel over there. Okay, that went through. Okay, very good. Every single shot went through this barrel. Every single shot went through this barrel down here. These are the fresh holes. I'm going to try the 22. I'm going to try on this side. I'm going to try the 22 short now. All right, so 22 short out of the North American Arms mini revolver. That went through. Okay, so every single shot, let's see it from here. every single shot that I fired of the 22 short penetrated that drum. Okay, so this 31 pocket pistol, pocket pistol, loaded with 10 to 11 grains of black powder, will not reliably or consistently penetrate that steel drum. So we're going to do something a little different now. We're going to do something that we're not supposed to do, because as we just saw from shooting this gun, this 31 caliber is woefully underpowered. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 5 grains of black powder and top that off with another 5 grains of unique smokeless powder. Now, we all know that we're not supposed to put smokeless powder in these guns, but we're putting so little that, and I've done this before, so I know that it's not a problem. I don't recommend you do it. I mean, if you do it, that's on you. However, I do this, and I don't see, I don't see any deformation or stretching of the cylinder or anything like that. So again, we've got 5 grains of black powder, topped off with 5 grains of smokeless powder. Basically, I'm using unique. And the reason for that, the reason why I'm putting the black powder and then the smokeless powder is because the caps are not hot enough to ignite the smokeless powder. So if I put in there just smokeless powder, nothing's going to happen. There won't be any ignition. The caps aren't hot enough to ignite it. So that's what I have found. That's why I use I put the black powder in first. Because basically your spark, basically ignites the black powder, and then the black powder ignites the smokeless powder. The other thing that might be interesting to you guys, for 31 caliber bullets, I mean, you can buy these Hornady black powder 32 caliber bullets, but and they charge you about $10 for this. What I do is I go to Notches, reloading supplies. I buy 1,000. Basically, this is 32 caliber buckshot. Okay, so the same thing that you would use for reloading shotgun shells. If you're reloading for buckshot, you just get 32 caliber. It's the same exact size. It's a little harder. The lead's a little bit harder as compared to the black powder lead, but I haven't had any problems seating it. And basically, this whole thing I think cost 1,000 rounds. Cost I think it was $15 or $20. So this is a lot cheaper. So I set up a new spot on this barrel. We'll be shooting into this area right there. Let's see if we can get reliable penetration. Oh yeah, that tore a nice hole through it. Right here. Went through, and it actually left a dent on the backside. It did drop the loading lever. That's going to happen with some of the higher charges. I've seen that on the 1847 Walker. That would always drop the loading lever. But that ripped right through that barrel. Okay, that one did not penetrate. That one did penetrate. That one did not penetrate. That one doesn't look like it penetrated either. Now I can see that the dents definitely look deeper. The dents definitely look deeper as compared to what happened earlier. But that was nice penetration there. That was nice penetration. I do this quite often. Usually, I'll get like 4 out of 5 to penetrate. That's what I usually see when I go 50-50 black powder, unique powder. As opposed to if I go 100, if I go just 10 grains of black powder, I usually don't see any penetration. If lucky, I might get 1 to penetrate. So it definitely increases this power. Now I've also run this through a chronograph. When I run it through a chronograph, first of all, when I run it through a chronograph with just black powder, I think I get something like 35 foot-pounds of energy. Okay, a 22 out of this pistol here usually gives me about 60, 65. So the 31 caliber, with just black powder is giving me about 35-40 foot-pounds of energy. When I run it with the, when I run it through a chronograph with 5 grains of black powder with 5 grains of unique on top of that, I usually get, on the low end, it'll come in at about 120 foot-pounds. On the high end, it'll come in at 150 foot-pounds. 120 is basically what you get out of 22 out of a rifle. 150 foot-pounds is like a 32 ACP or about 32 Smith & Wesson. So it's coming in about the power of a 32. So that's what this yields. But in black powder, with just black powder, the way this would have been used in period, again, I don't think that there's a single recorded case that I can find where this gun ever actually killed anybody. I mean, I just don't think it's lethal. I mean, it might break the skin, it might get a little bit of penetration, but I don't think it's going to get, it might get into a muscle. I don't think it's going to penetrate deep enough into the chest to hit a lung or a vital organ or anything like that. I mean, that's what I'm seeing in my tests. And also, like I said, when I run it through the chronograph, that's also what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, with black powder, it's getting about 35-40 foot-pounds of energy. With the black powder smokeless combination, I'm actually, getting a little bit more power out of it. Anyway, that's my research. Those are my thoughts on this. If you guys have any feedback, comments, put in the comment section. And like I said, I know we're not supposed to be shooting smokeless powder out of this, so that we know already. So I'm not recommending that. If you ever do decide to do it, though, make sure that you use unique. Don't use any of the other powders. For the only reason that I haven't experimented with any of the other powders, so I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna if the same quantity is gonna overpower it. I have found that unique is a powder that I've been working with for a long time, for reloading purposes. And I reload everything from, I have reloaded everything from 38 Special all the way up to 500 Smith & Wesson. So I have a really good feel for, what this powder does at different levels. So that's why, I just work with unique mostly. So, anything you got, guys, put in the comment sections. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.